What's up, y'all? How you doing? I'm out here working on the trailer, cutting steel, welding steel. So yeah, looks a little cloudy here today. I just want to do this one about why, not just mine, I'm sure, but why our kids hate us. Now, I'm old school, way old school. I graduated from the School of Hard Knocks. My mom went and signed my ass out of school at 16 years old, and I started. That's right before I turned 17, and I went to work in the construction field. Well, that's been over 30 years ago, 35 years ago. Damn, that's long. I'm almost 50. I'm 58. So I started young. I started way young, and I didn't have a real problem with authority like a lot of these kids do nowadays. And it's one of those things to where, for an old dude like me, man, I see these young kids that think that they know better, think that the world ain't what they think it is. Huh. Well, they're going to find out the hard way, because I'm even doing it with my grandkids now. I'm telling them, if you're so weak that you can't be around somebody that has tough talk, you know what I mean, and not gonna bullshit you, and not gonna sugarcoat it and everything to make you feel better. I never had anybody doing it to me or what, but the point is that I learned, and sometimes a hard lesson learned is the best lesson learned. You get that? So, there's a lot of these young kids that are so influenced by their social media and all that they see the stuff and they are doing the FAFO bad. So, things like that, to where I wish that the kids would understand that the world is not going to bend a knee to you just because your mommy does. And there we have it. My kids don't like me because I was gone most of the time, because I was working morning, noon, and night. I was one of those guys to where I could do anything on a job from the start all the way to the finish. And I was one of those guys that was always there at the finish because that's the kind of work that I did. I've rubbed elbows with millionaires so many times, and I have learned things from them. But I never really had a problem with authority per se, not like all these do nowadays. Back when I was a kid, if you had a problem with somebody, you got out in the street, you either delivered an ass whooping or you took one. But it was over until you wanted a rematch. That's the way it was. And we got all these mommies, little commies, all these cowards that think that just because they have a gun, they have to use it. To me, that's the biggest cowards that there are on the face of the planet. Sure, you could have a gun or whatever, but a 2-year-old can pull the trigger. Yeah. But the roundabout deal is this, is that our kids hate us, mainly us guys, because we are the authority. And it's hard for those of us that worked morning, noon, and night to really steer your family in a direction when you're gone most of the time, and the person you're that you're leaving behind with your kids wants to detrimentally, on purpose, steer the kids in the opposite damn direction because misery loves company. I know it's all a big vicious cycle. I know that. But the thing is that there's people out there that are having kids, and their kids themselves, they really don't have any adult in them. I tell my grandkids all the time, I say, look, you're going to be an adult longer than you're going to be a kid. And even as old as you are, you can always go back to being a kid. Trust me, I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I love having fun, man. So that kid in me is still there, but by God, the most of the adult in me, I have to do what I have to do. And that's something else that a lot of you parents, I'm sure, have to come to grips with. Same way your kids have to. They always liked you when you're cool and laid back and going and all that, letting them kind of get away and do some stuff or what. But when the parent in you comes out, and then all of a sudden you're, you know what I mean? How you get that shit from your kids, right? Yeah. My kids are almost 40 years old. I got grandkids. The grandkids are in relationships and probably won't be too long, few years, they'll be having grandkids. So yeah. But authority in this world is kind of falling and waning to the side because we have left our generations to be led and educated by people that had kids for a check. I see what I mean? Nobody is ever really going to tell you the truth like I will. Because I've seen that crap coming in to where all these little girls and stuff were, oh, well, they had a kid, and the next thing you know, oh, they're finding out that they got $500, $600, $700 check every month. What? Well, just let me go get knocked up. And that's what we have, y'all. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. But that's why our kids hate us, mainly the dads. Because we're the authority. And we have to put up with our children, especially when we're away at work. We have to come home and deal with children that are being raised by other children that we have made mothers out of. So, I mean, that's just one of the deals, man. I've been trying to stay busy. I've got some things. I've been wanting to do some other videos and all that, but by the time I get around to it, the day just goes by so quick, and I'm like, man, and it's been like that for about the past week or so. And I've been trying to do some other videos and things like that, about the stuff that I've got. I'm doing the axle on the trailer and finishing up the leaf springs, what I was showing you, that that stuff there. Yeah, all the undercarriage, to put the leaf springs and or the axle in and all. And then I got there's the plywood for the door where I'm sitting. So yeah, I've got a lot of things happening. So I mean, I've got projects I'm trying to get back out to my sales and stuff like that because the weather has not been too cooperative with me at all for some reason. So I guess that's just the way it happens. But I mean, I have taught my sons the trade. They're doing okay. They could be doing better. They could be doing way better if they work together. But our problem is that we have a bunch of individuals that we've tried to make families out of. You get that? I mean, I would go to work in the morning. My kids would be asleep. They hadn't got up to go to school yet. By the time I got home, they were already in bed. And the only thing I could do was go in and kiss them on their forehead. And I might see one of them, you know. And when they get up to go to the bathroom or something like that, that's about the only time that I would hug them up and. But being a dad, that's another story. But y'all tell me what you think. I don't know how big it's about 12 minutes or so. I can't even really see. Well, hang on. Yeah, going on 12 minutes. I don't know. I'm just trying to put some stuff out there, see what other parents think, man. Why do our kids hate us? What did we do? We tried to do everything we could to love them, make them understand. My kids weren't really raised on electronics. They were little. They were getting about 8, 9 years old when the PlayStation and all that kind of stuff come out real good. And yeah, I've seen everything from the pagers, the cell phones, all that kind of stuff come in. Computers. Yeah. Little story, when I was a kid, I remember watching on the news, they were saying that a school not too far from us were getting 2 classrooms full of new computers. I went to school the next day, and I literally walked up to one of the teachers and asked her, I said, I heard that old so-and-so school is getting some computers. When are we getting ours? The teacher literally looked at me, patted me on the back, and said, don't worry about those. They won't last. You can't do anything without a chip on a card or whatever, gas money, gas, groceries. You can't even get any money out of your bank, Jeez. So yeah, that's kind of like the old school where I am, man. What I've been through, what I mean, everything. The whole 9 yards, man, about with my kids and stuff and what I've been through with them. And then now, they're on Facebook and all that. Boo-hoo, poor little me. I'm a lion. I walk alone and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what a dad wants to hear from his grown-ass sons. Yeah. So, yeah. But I just wanted y'all to know or find out a little bit more from what y'all think about how this stuff is going. And then I hope everybody is okay. And I hope and pray that our young ones will actually get their heads out of their butts one of these days and realize that the dads in this world have been there, done that, and going back for more. So, I got to get back on the trailer, man. Y'all wish me luck. Hopefully next time I'll have the axle in. I've got to get all the leaf springs and everything buttoned up, tightened up. I've got a couple little bit welding things to do on it. Maybe I can try to do a video on that too. But yeah, I just want to touch base with y'all. I hope this message finds you well. God bless the United States of America. And screw you commies, you know the drill. Right on. Later. Have a good one.